Hi, my name is Isha Parekh, and I'll be discussing the lead pollution in America's most toxic ghost town, Picher, Oklahoma. This presentation is to understand the events that led to Picher, known as America's most toxic ghost town, understand the cause of contamination and its consequence, evacuation and buyouts of the town, health effects, and EPA cleanup. Timeline: the mining started in early 1900s. The town also faced a tornado in 2008, and eventually the town was vacated in the late 2000s. The rise and the eventual downfall of mining had a significant impact on the population. Approximately 10,000 people were residing in the town during mining boom in 1920. However, after the environmental disaster, the town was completely deserted and the population count was recorded zero in 2019. Picture: Ottawa County, Oklahoma was a little American mining town and was the national center of lead and zinc mining. Mining started bringing thousands of workers to the region. Years of extracting ore from the earth led to large piles of toxic waste from the mines scattered around the city. These contaminated tons of sand, known as chat, had a severe impact on the environment and human health. Chat piles are massive hills of poison, the remains of century worth of lead and zinc mining. They are crushed limestone, dolomite, and sedimentary rocks that sometimes rose to a height of 300 feet. The residents were exposed to the harmful toxin every time they stepped outside their door, but they had no idea of the hazard. The mining finally stopped in 1970, but the damage was already done. Mine shafts were not closed when the mines were closed, causing contamination of the groundwater with high levels of lead, leading to water turning red. Large sinkholes started opening up around Pitcher and filling with toxic water. The toxic mining wastewater has been flowing around into the Pitcher for decades, killing most of the aquatic life and contaminating all water sources. The major elements found to cause environmental pollutions were lead, zinc, cadmium, manganese, zinc, and iron. In 1994, EPA sampled soil in high-access areas such as daycare centers, schoolyards, and playgrounds, and residential properties, and found them to be highly contaminated with lead. In 2008, tornado further devastated the community, making it impossible to rehabilitate the town, leaving it deserted. The government finally shut down the town and offered buyouts for its citizens to begin life somewhere else. How toxic was Pitcher, Oklahoma? In mid 1900s, people started experiencing serious health problems and symptoms without any previous cause, such as rising lung cancer cases, hypertension cases, respiratory infections, high infant mortality rates that could not be linked to any other cause. Services tested and found high blood lead levels among children 1 to 5 years of age residing in the town. Cases of learning difficulties, decreased mental ability in school-going children were also seen. Quickly got involved after learning about the contamination and declared Pitcher a Superfund site in 1980. In the mid-1990s, the EPA ordered the first measure to counter pollution and remove the top inches of the soil from people's yards. The EPA designated funds to cap mine shafts, deliver clean water to the community. In 2009, the EPA evacuated the town, deeming it unlivable. Then, EPA started buying out Pitcher homes and businesses. The buyout completed in 2011. So, what is it like to visit Pitcher, Oklahoma today? Today, the waterways remains trust-red. Chat Piles remains the top town landmark. Pitcher is a tourist destination for those who like to observe ghost towns. And there is an annual toxic tour bike ride. The last resident of Pitcher, Gary Linderman, who owned and operated pharmacy, is known as the last resident of Pitcher, Oklahoma. In conclusion, mining started in the early 1900s. Pitcher became the world's most productive lead mining town, produced 50% of the country's lead and zinc for both world wars, was a proper industrial town after the mining boom. There was no environmental code to worry about when the town was founded, so there was extensive mining. Due to mining being the only industry funding the town's economy, no one spoke against the environmental pollution. Large chalk piles were formed around the town. Excessive lead contamination of water causing creek in the town to turn red. Sudden rise in health problems such as lung infection, hypertension, increased infant mortality, stunted brain development, and increased risk of lung cancers were seen. In 1981, EPA declared Pitcher a Superfund site and cleanup and evacuation of town was initiated. After cleanup, its Superfund status was revoked in November 2013.